what this team can bring to the table every night.
How they're doing it, moving the basketball, getting out in transition, playing good defense.
Yep. I got it.
There's Shed. Oh, Mamu, there goes that man.
And you love it. Starts with the defense from B.I.
You got on the ground.
We move the ball, run in transition, make threes. Everything just comes together.
And Shed. Brady Dick with the two-handed slam.
The offense is unreal.
Here's Mamu. Attacking Mamu with the throwdown. The Toronto Raptors, they're doing exactly what they need to do. Stack wins.
Let's keep winning. Go to Vegas. It'll be great.
They're headed to the knockout round of the Emirates NBA Cup, and we'll see you back here on Sunday night against the Brooklyn Nets.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Going for 7 straight, piling up the wins, proving they're very much the real deal and kicking off a back-to-back against Brooklyn, a team they bested 2 weeks ago. Toronto coming off a 140-point performance Friday. It was balanced. R.J. Barrett poured in 24, the 64th time he's touched at least 20 with Toronto. Michael Porter Jr. has a similar streak, going to career-high 8 games with 20-plus and still trying to find his footing with a new Nets squad very much in a rebuild scenario. Welcome to Tangerine Raptors basketball on Sportsnet. I'm Danielle Michaud, and 3 games in 4 nights is never easy, even when you have the comforts of home. So with that in mind, the Raptors will rest Jakob Poeltl tonight on the first game of this back-to-back, saving him to play the Cavs on Monday night. We know his back has been an issue this season. He only logged just over 19 minutes on Friday against Washington, but it was very much a luxury thanks to the large lead they built after that 48-point third quarter. So who gets the start in his place? None other than Sandro Mamukelashvili, his first start as a member of the Toronto Raptors, and it'll be his first since April 14th, 2024, coming off a season-high 23 points and contributing in every way possible with his new squad. So with more, let's get you courtside to Matt Devlin and Alvin Williams.
All right, Danielle, yes, Mamu getting the start. For the Toronto Raptors, this is only the 4th lineup that they have used, starting lineup, and that is tied for 2nd fewest in the NBA. You go back to this past summer, Bobby Webster, the general manager of the Toronto Raptors, they looked out in free agency and said Sandro Mamukelashvili is a player that they wanted, and he has been impactful. After a year and a half in Milwaukee, 2.5 in San Antonio, he has truly, in short order, found a home here in Toronto.
And they found the gem. And everyone you talk to, San Antonio personnel, everybody, they love this guy. They love his performance. But now, like you said, he's found a home. And why has he found a home? It's a diverse team, a lot of versatility, sharing the basketball, and he's a player that can do so many things on the floor outside of scoring the ball, but you can put him in different actions, pick and roll actions, slip to the basket, finish at the height of 6'9", get in the passing lanes, get out on the break, and finish with the best of them with his athleticism. And I like the ball handling ability, faking the dribble handoffs, getting to the rack, slamming it home, and I really appreciate this. What he does with his shooting ability, look at this high pick and roll in the middle of the floor. This is an extended pick and roll all the way at half court. Now, if you're a defense, Shed is doing a beautiful job of drawing 2 players. He's wide open because he can extend the floor, and that's different when you have a Poeltl in the game who's a roller and a reader. But now, right here, he catches the ball. He can either swing it, but with a bad defensive team, if you make any mistakes, he has the shooting ability and the talent to make you pay for it. So any type of defense, he can compromise.
Mamu said, knock you out. He has been outstanding as we send it to Brad.
Guys, with Matt and Sherm, as always, and one of 4 players was Mamu with 20 for the Raptors on Friday night. Another one of those, Matt, was Scotty Barnes. And the key to that third quarter when they put 48 up on Washington was Scotty's energy out of the locker room, because everybody follows when he's running up and down and everywhere on offense and defense like he was.
Yeah, I mean, he took over. He did what he always does, moving without the basketball, setting screens, flashing, running in transition to get to the paint and use his physicality to finish and set up his teammates. But he was also 3 of 4 from the three-point line. He's shooting over 40% from 3 this season. because he can pick and choose when he shoots it. He can shoot the juicy ones, Sherm, the wide open ones, and if they're going in, shoot more. If it's not falling that night, he doesn't have to rely on it. He's going back to plan A, getting into the paint and doing damage.
Yeah, it was just such an efficient performance by Scotty in the game and in that third quarter. But we talk about leadership with this team. Scotty is at the head of that table because he can impact the game on so many levels. And what I like about Scotty is it's great to have these kind of games where the numbers show how valuable he is. But when he's doing those other things and he's not scoring a lot, he has players around him that can pick up that slack. And that's why this team is that good. His leadership doesn't have to be in the right column of the stat sheet.
14 of his 23 came in that third quarter, also had 3 steals. We talked about the torrid shooting of Emmanuel quickly, but how about this point guard play, Sherm, between he and Jamal Shead on Friday night? 17 assists between them. 0 turnovers. You're getting what you want if you're Darko.
No question about it. When you have that kind of responsible play at your point guard position, that ability to take care of the basketball, it's phenomenal. And kind of like the center spot for the Raptors, the point guard situation is similar in terms of contrasting styles. Emmanuel's going to get up and down. He's going to shoot the ball in transition. He's one of the leaders in the league in pull-up threes. And then Jamal Shead is going to come in as a pit bull on the defensive side and create all kinds of havoc from the point of attack. I love what both these guys bring to the floor, and when you think about it, that's why they're able to play on the floor together because of their contrasting styles.
Yeah, this is a team that's right up there tops in the league in assist percentage. So they're, and a big reason is those two guys understanding their role as point guards, IQ in that starting unit, and then Jamal Shead when he comes in the second unit. I love last game we had him mic'd up, and you could really hear the leadership side of things. We know he brings the energy, he's good vibes, but you hear him constantly talking to guys, making sure guys understand coverages, are in the right places, keeping their vibes up. You miss a shot, that's a good shot, shoot the next one. That's leadership, and that's what he does for that second unit.
Yeah, upperclassman, one of those guys, played at a good program, played a lot of years in college. Raptors love those guys, and Jamal Shead fitting right in year number 2. The Raptors 10-2 versus East this year. That's how they built that 11-5 record, second best in the conference. And tonight, the first of a back-to-back. It's the Brooklyn Nets in town. A lot of fans around Toronto have an eye on tomorrow night with Cleveland as well. But take care of business tonight if you're Toronto without Jakob Poeltl. Stay with us. The tip is next.
Brought to you by Tangerine Bank. You can never be too invested in your team. Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors and their fans.
It's a Sunday in downtown Toronto. Santa Claus Parade Day here in Toronto. Crowd still filing into the bank. The Brooklyn Nets have won 2 of 3 coming off of a win against the Boston Celtics. The Raptors have won 6 in a row in 10 of 11. Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Gillette, the best your game can get. For the Toronto Raptors, this is their 4th different starting lineup, 2nd fewest in the NBA. They're tied in that mark. Emmanuel Quickley, R.J. Barrett, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, and Sandro Mamukelashvili getting his first start as a member of the Toronto Raptors. When you look at Brooklyn, Darko Rajakovic and this Toronto Raptors team will have to deal with Nick Claxton coming off of a triple-double in Boston. He had 18, 11, and 12. But the Raptors are rolling. They want to keep that going against Jordi Fernandez and his Nets. This is the 14th season that the Nets have been in the borough of Brooklyn. Jordi Fernandez is their 10th head coach during that time, and many people believe that he is the person that will be able to, the coach that will be able to turn it around with this young roster, youngest in the NBA. Fresh Strategies brought to you by Old Spice Fiji Deodorant. 24/7 lasting freshness with daily use.
And Matt, it comes down with no Pirtle. You still have to defend that paint. You have to have that physicality. And also, no Pirtle, you have to have team rebounding. A lack of size, Pirtle usually makes up in that department. But now the Raptors have to do it collectively as a team.
The Toronto Raptors are averaging over 121 points while shooting better than 50% from the field through their first 16 games. The only other NBA team to have those numbers over the last 35 years in the NBA, last season's Cleveland Cavaliers. The Raptors will see the Cavs tomorrow. They're playing the Clippers tonight. David Guthrie, Fantasy Ransom, and Michael Smith are three officials. Raptors now 4-2 at home. Michael Smith blows a whistle, and he's trying to get the Raptors to all sit down, sit back,
Ease up a bit.
relax.
It's early.
No, it took you a while to make your way through the Santa Claus parade, but now you're here. Settle in and enjoy. And an offensive foul, so we know that the whistle works. And a foul's called on Noah Clowney. That is his first. The Fox 40 whistle. And Scotty B looking for RJ, guarded by Terrence Mann, and he's going to head to the line. RJ Barrett on the season, 70% from the free throw line, had 24 points against the Washington Wizards. For only the second time in franchise history, Alvin, the Raptors had 4 players score 23 points or better in a single game. Impressive. I don't care who you're playing.
You know, you're 100% right, Matt, and you've seen it, right? Some games you might start off trying to get B.I. involved quickly, or you might have Scotty. This play to start this game out, it was a design play for RJ to get activated early. So that's a matchup that they like, and they're going to try to take advantage of. But that's the versatility of this Toronto Raptors squad.
Yegor Dioman, the rookie, 8th overall selection from Russia. Spent a season at BYU in Provo, Utah, and a whistle and a foul on Emmanuel Quickly. Michael Porter Jr. was acquired in the offseason from the Denver Nuggets. One veteran player in his 7th season on this team, being brought over. Claxton in his 7th year. And a turnover. Here's RJ on the run, stops, kicks it. Scotty moves it. Mamu, bucket.
You already see his value. Spacing the floor, great extra pass by Scotty. Mamu doing the rest.
Michael Porter Jr. puts it on the deck, spins around, fading. Tough shot, doesn't go. Quickly with a rebound. Raptors start this game on a 5-0 run. Can they add to it? Quickly working with Mamu. Mamu up top. RJ. Oh! And timeout, Jordy Fernandez. And the Toronto Raptors on a 7-0 run to begin. And already, we talked about it in the last game. It's that moment, you know, if you share, you care, right?
100%. Sharing is caring. Didn't you mention Santa Claus earlier?
31st.
And Matt, just the way they're sharing the rock and how they're playing. And again, it's the trust factor. They're playing together. Defensively, the concepts are there. You see Brandon Ingram getting in his defensive stance, getting in the help position. Now you're getting on transition. Extra pass. We know they're going to share the ball. That's a part of the recipe for their team and the makeup. And Sandro just knocking it out, finishing, doing the rest. But again, this team in the red tonight, they play as a team, as a unit, and you have to be excited about what you've been seeing early on in this season.
Raptors start the game on a 7-0 run from the corner. Another missed shot. Noah Clowney out of bounds. And it's going to be Toronto basketball now. Michael Smith getting together with Fantasy Ransom and the entire bench of Brooklyn. They were trying to help out the referees, and See Juwan Howard there as well as the rest of the bench. It's going to be reversed. It's going to be off of Mamu. There's Juwan Howard, former Michigan standout, head coach of Michigan and longtime assistant in Miami and with the Miami Heat.
Heck of a player, heck of a human being. Always appreciated and admired Juwan Howard.
Deflected by R.J. Barrett. The Toronto Raptors, one of the best in the NBA in deflections.
Yeah, they're in position. And, you know, I talk about deflections and steals, and sometimes they don't tell the entire story. But if you're in position and you are active and you are engaged, you will get those deflections. You know, that comes from a player. You know, I was a coach, and that was one of my responsibilities, to collect the deflections of a team. I was pretty good at it.
When did you have to do that?
2009. 2009. Behind
when
the bench.
you were a coach, yeah.
Yeah, I was a coach. I took the charges and the deflections.
IQ the three. Take that. And as he knocks down that three-pointer.
And how about IQ? I'm looking at early in the game. He got the offensive foul, playing the defense, fighting over the screen. Now his offense is coming in. He's just playing an entirely different type of game, balanced game as your point guard, as your general out there on the floor.
Shot clock down. Good job by Quickly, the cutoff man on the inside. That three doesn't go. Scooped up by the active Mamu. Mamu kicks it to Scotty. Raptors on a 10-0 run to start this game on Sunday night here from the bank. Quickly looking underneath. Mamu mania!
And how about that pass by Quick? A dart. Mamu setting the screen, carving out space in the paint and finishing right at the rack.
Clowney, the first bucket and a foul. First bucket for Brooklyn comes at the 9:01 mark.
And this pick and roll action with Sandro is something you really have to appreciate. You see it quickly just popping out, and it really wasn't even a pick and roll. It was just a simple slip to the basket, reading the defense, having the defense off balance and off guard, and Quick taking advantage. And I was really impressed against the Wizards on Friday night. Quickly and Shed, 17 assists between those two with not one turnover. Both of them are getting everyone initiated, sharing the ball, and taking care of the rock on the other end.
Impressive. Raptors lead by 9. Tyrese Martin checks in for Brooklyn. Zaire Williams checks in for the Nets. Ingram gives it to RJ on the attack, on a kick. Mamu. And the first miss for the Toronto Raptors from the field. They're 4 or 5. Clowney rises up. Air ball. Saved by Williams. Taken by RJ. Ahead to Scotty B.
How about that hustle? Chasing down on loose balls. Talk about it. One of the keys is rebounding as a unit. Getting those loose balls and attacking the defensive glass.
Raptors 5 assists, 5 field goals. Martin slices through. Here's Clowney on the attack, and Clowney gets a bucket. He had 19 on Friday in his 3rd season out of Alabama.
And Matt, he's playing aggressive basketball this season. He's been coming out being very confident and aggressive and going to work. Averaging 10 points this year.
Ingram has it stripped, last touch by Brooklyn.
And you just see the hustle. The Brooklyn Nets saving the basketball. And a lot of times when people save the ball, people stand and watch and see where the ball is going to go. Not the Toronto Raptors. So RJ attack the ball, the loose ball, get it, and get out in transition to Scotty Barnes.
Lead pass taken by Martin. And Martin is fouled by the presence of Ingram underneath. With 7:39 remaining here in the opening quarter. 14-5. As I mentioned, the Nets, they're playing better basketball. They've won 2 of the last 3 games. One of those wins against Washington. But the one that stands out is going into Boston. And Boston's been playing better basketball of late. They entered the day 8-8, currently 10th in the Eastern Conference.
Make it a place you'll never forget. BetMGM Sportsbook. Make it legendary.
But how about Detroit? They're rolling. They've won 12 in a row. They own the second best record in the NBA behind Oklahoma City. They're 16-1. They see Portland tonight as Martin's able to get both free throws, and it's a 7-point lead.
And Detroit have some impressive wins with a few games without 4 of the 5 starters, and guys have stepped in, two-way players, guys off the bench and really performing. They haven't missed a beat.
Here's Quick, catch and shoot 3, in and out, and Claxton reels that one in. He is long and athletic.
He definitely is, and he's improving year by year. You mentioned triple-double against the Boston Celtics. You see Clowney muscle his way to the basket and finish at the rim.
He has 7 of their 9. Does Clowney. R.J. Barrett up top, working on the rookie. Takes him into the paint. Gets him right where he wants him, but then unable to finish. But it's touched last by Brooklyn as Jacoby Walters going to check in for Scotty Barnes.
And partner, you mentioned this Brooklyn Nets team playing a little better. They win on Boston's home floor, but their defense have been improving, holding their opponents to 107 points total in the last 4 games, and really stepping up in that department. So that will equate to some wins, or at least being in games competitively.
Mamu finds Ingram. Ingram now crossover, up fake. Look at this. Doesn't go. Dioman saves it, stolen by Ingram. Cutting is RJ, and he's fouled. No call. I thought there was a ton of contact there on the forearm.
It was a ton of contact.
Raptors started 4-4. They won for their last 8.
But the energy level has remained high, top notch. And a lot of times you see teams, once the shots start going in, now your energy level falls down or decreases. Not the Raptors.
Looking for Ingram, and Martin takes it away. Martin, and a blocking foul. Another and 1 for Brooklyn. And they have a chance to make it a 2-point game here. Raptors started 12-0.
A few missed shots and a few turnovers allowing this Brooklyn Nets team to get out in transition. You see Mamu trying to get back in position, but that right heel in a restricted area.
Timeout taken by Darko. So Jordi Fernandez and his Brooklyn Nets have battled their way back.
Little chicken items today, and what better, more beautiful way, in fact, to show this 6-game streak than by illustrating some incredible sketches. Graphic designer Aiden Lissing drew up after each one. He's Scarborough born and raised, a lifelong fan, and felt if there was ever a time to draw his passion, it was this season. It typically takes him an hour to 3 hours right after the final buzzer. And while Scotty's his current favorite player, that BI literal poster was his favorite one. It was a little harder to choose, but he said it was a straight up cool basketball moment. What more could you want? It's cool stuff to see the passion that We the North has, guys.
No question about it. Great fans. Best in the NBA. As it's good to see Colin Murray-Boyles, a rookie, back. Last played against Charlotte. Played just over 15 minutes in that game. He's been out for the last 2 games. Right knee MCL sprain. It's a 12-2 run now overall. And 9-0 over the last 2 minutes. Jamal Shed, Walter.
The Raptors a different look in the 2-3 zone coming out of that timeout.
And Clowney able to grab the board, and a chance here to tie or take the lead. Raptors have missed their last 7. Here's Martin, and Ingram just swats it away.
Martin trying to go for the lob for Claxton, and that's something that Claxton really excels at when he's at the rim, gives that outlet for his teammates up top, but Brandon Ingram was ready for that play.
Up top to Clowney, guarded by Murray-Boyles. Spinning, Clowney just takes him right into the post. Tied his season high with 19 in Boston, and we're tied at 14. Murray-Boyles over to Ingram with Barrett, Shed, and Walter. Here's Ingram, kicks it. RJ from Mississauga.
You see Brandon Ingram breaking down that 3-2 zone, more of a matchup zone, getting in the gaps, making the collapse, and finding RJ.
Martin gets it right back for the Raptors. They went 3 minutes without scoring. Here's Shed. Over to Walter, corner three, Jacoby! Walter starting to come around with that three-point touch. 37% now. He's been playing better over the last couple of games.
Sure has. He's settled down. Again, defensively, he's active, and now the shot is flowing.
Clowney with an air ball. Martin tries to save it, can't.
And again, when you have the capability to shoot the ball like Walter, but your defense, the other defense is being broken down. You see Jamal Shed, just a subtle look off a bit, the defense, and finding Walter in that corner. He's putting himself in successful positions, and his teammates are doing a good job of finding him as well.
Grady Dick checks in for R.J. Barrett with Walter, CMB, Ingram, and Shed.
And we've mentioned that Grady and Walter, both of those guys have been bringing a lot of energy off the bench.
Here's Ingram backing in over Williams. Shot, sweet touch, soft touch, bucket.
And he knew that was a bucket. That's almost automatic. Once he gets to his sweet spot, turns his back and shoots right over top of the defense.
Had 24 Friday against Washington. Backing in Martin. Well, up and under in the whistle. And a foul's going to be charged to Toronto. It's on Jamal Shed. It's going to be number 1 on Shed.
Matt, just look at the isolation. You see B.I. ignoring the pick and roll opportunity and just going to work. Little time, little shimmy shake a bit, and right over top with the defense. There's nothing you can do. You got to send a double, or he's in trouble.
Bonus situation, so Martin will head to the line. And Martin, 8 for 13 on the year from the line.
BetMGM Sportsbook. Make it a game you'll never forget with parlays and live betting. Make it legendary.
They run sharp in the game. The Raptors are really going to have to concentrate because he loves to crash the board. He's a very physical player. He'll go to the basket and try to get every offensive rebound. So CMB, as well as the rest of the red shirts, have to be ready.
Clowney and Martin have done all the scoring for Brooklyn. And the bucket is there for the bucket getter.
That's not normal, man. That's just not normal.
Raptors have made 4 in a row after missing 7. On the inside, Day'Ron Sharp becomes the first net outside of Clowney and Martin to score. Here's Shed, kicks it. Grady rising up. Grady delivering the 3 from the corner from Grimsby.
Grady putting himself in position, letting it flow. Smooth stroke, but how about Jamal Shed again? As soon as he touches the ball, no hesitation, already knows where Grady is.
Sharp gives it now to Drake Powell. Powell's shot doesn't go. Ingram with the rebound. Raptors pushing it. Pull up 3. No. And Martin on the glass. Raptors back up by 6. And a turnover.
And that's one thing. When Darko was asked about some of CMB's best defensive quality, he said moving his feet, staying in front of the ball handler, he forced a turnover. But you see the Toronto Raptors, just quick pass. You talked about the Nets being in the zone. Jamal Shed getting in that middle, softening up the defense, delivering a dime for Grady Dick with an open 3-pointer. That's 8 assists on 10 made field goals.
Impressive. Here in this opening quarter, Powell, the rookie out of North Carolina, picks up the foul. Ingram out. Scotty Barnes back in. 2:51 on the clock here in this first quarter. The cut by Walter. Great read by CMB. Cut with a purpose, and Walter did.
And you talked about the connectivity. These guys really trust and believe in one another. That's why the cuts are so hard. That's why they're purposeful. And that's why the basketball is being delivered on time and on target.
Raptors back up by 8. Michael Porter Jr. back on the court for Brooklyn. Second chance opportunity here. Man kicks it. Porter again, this time good.
As we talked about, the second chance opportunities. You got to keep Day'Ron Sharpe off of the glass. This Nets team, they will attack.
Shed scoops it back up. Walter. The three! He has found his game, and it's great to see for the 21-year-old Texan. He has just improved so much over this past week and just letting it come. And there's a technical foul. It's on Darko. And Darko now trying to explain to Michael Smith. Animated. And I think it has to do with a couple of different calls that didn't go the Raptors' way. But then I think right here. And Darko teed up by Fantasy Ransom there. It's a rarity. You don't see that
Hey,
often.
Darko, get your technical fouls up. I like it. Show some fire. Get a tech. Let your team know that you're behind them. You support them.
Scotty with the rebound. Lead pass, tough, but Grady comes away with it. It's down at his ankles. Gives it back to Barnes. Raptors by 7. Scotty operating. Doesn't go. Tapped by Grady Dick, but Brooklyn will come away with it. Man. And a foul. And it's going to be against Toronto, and Man will go to the line.
And even that subtle play with Scotty Barnes with the isolation prior to this defensive possession. He orchestrated the entire thing and got his shot he wanted. But I thought this was a little offensive foul. Swiping away with the off arm, but Terrence Mann being aggressive. I know the Brooklyn Nets would like to see a little bit more from Terrence Mann, and he has the ability, he has the game, so just becoming more comfortable with this Brooklyn Nets team. If he does, he's a good piece for this squad.
Mamu checks in. Murray Boyles out. He picked up the foul. And you see Darko in conversation with Murray Boyles. As Man. And the second one, good. 6-point lead. Quickly with the Mamu, Grady, Barnes, and Shed.
We see the lineup with Shed and IQ in the game again. We talked about they both had the game with no turnovers, so they will deliver the rock, get this offense generated.
Mamu looking for Scotty. The clock is down. He recognizes the shake and the delivery.
Put a smile on Scotty's face to himself. Nice little shimmy shake again. We're seeing he and B.I. with the shimmy shake. A little bit of like Hakeem Olajuwon a little bit. Hakeem the Dream.
A little this and then that. In the bucket, Man. Here's Powell. And another foul against Toronto. Jalen Wilson in for Brooklyn.
You see Scotty look off a little bit. Just that. And it wasn't just a lazy fake to the left. It was a hard, made you really believe. That's why the defender had to jump at the fake and left Scotty wide open for the turnaround jump shot.
Shed gets called for his second, so he's going to have to leave. And RJ's going to check back in. 37.1 on the clock. That's what's remaining here in the first quarter. So Barnes, Mamu, Barrett, quickly, and Grady Dick. Brooklyn 9 of 10 from the line. The Raptors have attempted 2.
And that's one thing the Raptors have become much better at, not fouling their opponents. But this right now coming down is an opportunity for 2 for 1. So the Raptors can get the ball off the floor and get a quick shot. They can get a second possession in this quarter.
Scotty, shot off the back of the iron, and Powell takes it down. They'll play for the final shot here in the opening quarter with the Raptors up by 6. Terrence Mann up top. Clowney cut off by Mamu. Scotty comes over, blocks the shot. And the first quarter comes to a close.
And that last possession was great defense. Awesome switching, communicating, switching hard, and now contesting the shot at the end of the shot clock, not allowing the Brooklyn Nets to get a clean look.
Raptors up at the end of the first. Raptors in that opening quarter shot 54% from the field. The difference, the 11 free throws, Brooklyn making 10 of them, Raptors 2 of 2. They turned it over only one time. They turned over Brooklyn 5, leading to 9 points. Grady is fouled by Day'Ron Sharpe. And so Grady will get 3 free throws.
Not giving them any airspace. And it's so difficult in today's game to defend the shooters. And because they're shooting at will, the percentage and the usage of the three-point shot, so you have to close out. The one thing that can help a defender, if you stay connected or stay close enough so you don't have to have a reckless closeout or a closeout where you have to cover so much distance. But again, you have to be in your help position as well. So it's a difficult task to be dealing with.
Grady Dick at the line, and he'll get one more. Well, that's why spacing and the dribble penetration, right, the kick out, the extra swing, it becomes extremely difficult. And we've seen different variations of how teams want to guard it. The Raptors right now, one of the best in the NBA at guarding that perimeter, but they're still working on different concepts. And as Darko mentioned the other night, he said, you know, let's wait 30 games, right, before we start to really, of course he looks at every number, but before you start really getting a better feel for what the trends are.
And the unique team, the unique thing about the Toronto Raptors is their switchability, and they have guys same size, and they just play with that type of energy. They do a really good job of being in the help position, staying connected with one another, staying on a string. But also, it's who you're playing against. It could be a team that's not a great three-point shooting team, and you're not really impacting if they're getting those shots. What you're impacting is if you could just contest those shots and make them more difficult than a regular wide-open shot.
Contesting is key.
Contesting is key. It's just it's another form of being present, having the presence, just like physicality, bumping the cutter, or just being physical, letting the opponent know that you are here.
That foul on the other end was on Grady Dick. Here's quickly cut off by Porter. Mamu kicks it back out. Raptors lead by 9. Quick now. And blocked by Porter, taken away by Porter.
Porter used his size. Quick had some space before, but he understood Porter is 6'10". And he showed why he didn't want to shoot the first shot because of Porter's height.
Terrence Mann guarded by Mamu. Up top to Powell. Powell. Good job by Grady going over. And there's Mamu on the scene. Lead pass, Scotty up top. Grady! Raptors up by 11. Unselfish play once again by Scotty Barnes. The smiles. And Grady Dick with the finish at the rim.
And it feels good when your teammates are sharing the rock. Scotty knew the entire time that Grady was running that wing, and you have to reward the runner.
We have seen some exceptional no-look passes from Scotty so far this season, some of them very Magic-esque, and I wondered, he must practice this, right? That's got to be something that he often works on, and I asked him the other day, and he said, no. I just do it. Again, when you have talent out the ears like Scotty Barnes, it comes that easily. He said he's been doing it since he was young. His natural talent just off the charts. He also said he just can't explain it to me. It's more awareness and instinct. And again, can't put his finger on it, guys, but man, does he make it look easy.
He certainly does. And that is a special talent as Porter lays it up and in. Alvin, you were the same. right?
And no look, yeah.
You know, I mean, sometimes you just have that sense and awareness, and you know players are coming, so it leads to those opportunities.
It's having that feel. It's seeing the play before it happens, and it's dictated on the defense as well, right? I remember when LeBron James used to come into the league when he was a rookie. He used to make no-look passes, but it was nobody else to pass to because you're not fooling nobody to look them off. But it's predicated on how the defense is playing you. But Scotty does a great job of looking defenses off, just like a top-notch quarterback.
Here's Scotty. Quickly swings it. Mamu now attacking, gets right to the iron.
Just love what Mamu brings. The three-point shot, the dribbling ability. 7 points already in this first half, but he's done it in multiple ways.
Wilson puts it on the deck. Cut off. The help comes with Scotty, but Wilson gets the bucket. 7-point lead for Toronto. Their largest 12. That was to begin the game. 12-0 start. They run Sharp out to Mamu. Wilson guards Scotty. Scotty now flips it over to Grady. Grady has 8 points. Here's Scotty, the catch. Look at that. As Sharp came over for the steal, a pathway opened up, and Scotty with a bucket.
Yeah, great catch by Scotty, but great recognition by Grady Dick. Seeing the matchup, getting the ball to Scotty with a lob pass over top of the defense.
Porter trying to post up, fading. Doesn't go, and another foul against Toronto. This one on Mamu.
And again, we talked about Sharp and his physicality. He's going to put a lot of pressure on this Toronto Raptors team, but you just see the patience by the Raptors. A little movement. The spacing is great. Scotty with a nice catch. As soon as he got it, there was no other help side. Sharp went for the gamble, and Scotty took advantage. But again, hats off to Grady Dick making that read and delivering the rock.
Mamu picks up his second. Remember, no Jakob Poeltl, as that three is good from Michael Porter Jr. Jakob, you know, dealing with that back issue. We saw it kind of flare up on Friday night. Played just a little bit over 19 minutes. Scotty saves it. RJ, the three. Got it! In front of the Raptors bench. Barrett with a bucket.
And RJ's jump shot is so smooth, and it's becoming more and more consistent. Shooting 34%.
Powell with a bucket.
Yeah, but shooting 34%, but it's so much better. He's a threat. He's a threat out there on the floor, not just a driver and somebody in the paint. He can space the defense as well.
Here's Quick, and he is fouled, taking off to the rim, and R.J. Barrett, the leading scorer for Toronto, with 10.
That was quick. That penetration was quick, but keeping the ball alive. Scotty with the offensive rebound and just getting your feet set. I used to talk to Del Curry a lot, and he always talked about a fast release, but it wasn't necessarily a release from up top, from off his hands and his fingertips. He always emphasized having his feet set. So as soon as he caught the ball, if his feet were set, all he had to do is now release it. And RJ's doing that, getting to that corner in your spot. So now all you have to do is let it release.
When you have your feet set, do you prefer, if you're a right-handed shooter, with your right foot a little bit in front, or are you more square? What was your take on what is the best from three-point range?
I was always taught to square your body up, your feet, your shoulders, because your shot to be more consistent. Now, it's all how you practice and your rhythm and what makes you feel comfortable. But I think any good shooter will always tell you your feet set is squared along with your shoulders, and then it's just a straight line to the basket where you're shooting, wherever your target is. So, but you have some special shooters who are in a good field where their feet could be anywhere. And they
correct.
Can still
Steph Curry, I mean, but
it's about the base.
Yes, his base foundation is exceptional. When you looked at a rim, you mentioned target. What did you look at? Was it the back of the rim? Was it in the center of the rim? Was it in the front, just over top? As that bucket is good.
Well, right now, I got to bring some humor to this because I feel like you're asking me quick because I wasn't a good three-point shooter.
No, I'm just saying any shot. But RJ up top and a foul. No, I'm just saying when I'm helping out the kids here.
Well, the kids may not want to hear my information.
Yes, they do.
They always tell you the target, the front of the rim, wherever that. If you're on the side, you look at that angle or that piece of the rim where the net hangs from. You look at that and you try to shoot over top of that. But you also have people look at the back side of the rim because it's wherever it is. So again, it's wherever whatever makes you feel comfortable as a shooter, because it's all reps. It's reps, it's having that confidence, and that's the key ingredients to being a good shooter, that confidence and then having that rhythm. But a lot of people say that front target of the rim or wherever you're shooting from, that target.
And that's why you see so many, I mean, think about some of the greatest shooters of all time, and Reggie Miller, right? You wouldn't teach how he finishes, how he shoots.
Just follow through, yeah.
Larry Bird, even off the side, the way he shot as well. But as you mentioned, those reps are just so important. And then it's like, you know, for those that golf, it's like a golf swing,
yeah.
right? Like, can you get it to square, right, on impact, and get it to where you want it to be? And that's the same thing for any basketball player with a shot.
And you mentioned all great shooters, and they all shot the ball in different ways. Even Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Steph Curry shoots the ball now like he did when he was about 9 or 8 years old, like just still kind of from the hip, slinging it up there. But it's all about the reps. And again, psychologically, you have to be confident and believe the next shot is going to go. You have to have a short-term memory when it comes to shooting.
Martin, a step back three. And that doesn't go. RJ able to grab it. Ochai Agbaji on the court along with Ingram, Shed, and Murray Boyles. Here's Ingram now over to Agbaji. Agbaji attacking. And it's blocked by Clowney. Darko still not pleased with the lack of the whistle. What a job by CMB to get back, but cleaned up, and the bucket is good in a 6-point game.
And Matt CMB did an outstanding job of hustling back, but all 5 players have to get back, converge to the basketball, and come up with that loose ball.
Shed, and a foul is called. Fouls on Michael Porter Jr. Shed will head to the free throw line.
You got to respect Shed three-point shooting ability. It's the 44% from 3 this year. So it's not the guys just penetrating and just swinging a rock. You have to respect his ability to space the floor, and you have to close out. Good job by Shed, giving himself an opportunity for 3 shots at the line.
Shed 15 of 19 from the line this season. He has been outstanding this year for the Toronto Raptors. Tied for the NBA lead with 86 assists off of the bench this season.
Walmart's Black Friday deals are on now with new deals each week. Hurry and save up to 35% off in-store and online.
Dioman checks back in. One of 5 first-round picks for the Brooklyn Nets, and they decided to use all 5 first-round picks instead of packaging some, moving up, or putting some together and trading for future picks. Raptors 10 of 10 from the line here in the quarter. So now Brooklyn has attempted just 1 more free throw. Dioman. He'll kick it over to Williams. Williams with the clock down. Shot doesn't go. Battling for the rebound. And it's going to go against Ochai Agbaji.
And Matt, that defense was all about the compete factor for the Toronto Raptors. Staying in the ball. Great man-to-man defense. Contesting the shot. Just not able to come up with that rebound. But if you take a look at all 5 guys, they pressured the basketball and they continued to slide their feet and made everything difficult for the Brooklyn Nets.
Martin up top. CMB on him. Martin 13 points off of the bench. And 3-second violation on Nick Claxton. And so a turnover. And that's going to be the 6th for Brooklyn. And the first here in the second quarter.
And it's very rare. Well, at least I haven't seen many offensive 3-second violations. With all the spacing, the bigs, pick and roll, it's rare you see somebody just lounging in the lane these days.
Ingram loves to operate from the elbow. Backing in, taking Williams into the restricted area. The help comes. And the denial there as Claxton gets the block.
That's outstanding block by Claxton. Really enjoy his improvement.
Dioman up fake, kicks it. Williams a 3, banks it in.
Straight Straight ahead. He looked at his hands. He shook his own hand.
We were just talking about a target. He was looking at that square box up
See,
there.
there you go. It's different for everyone.
Ochai attacking that burst with the first step.
I was a little excited. I'm sorry. I mean, that was fast. It's like a bullet from a gun. He just didn't settle for the three. Missed his last three on the other side corner, but that time he knew exactly what he was going to do, get to the rim before the defense could help out.
Dioman spinning back around, fading. Doesn't go, picked up by Shed. Lead pass quickly. Raptors on the run on a pull-up three. Doesn't go. Ochai bats it away. And last touch by Claxton. It's going to be Toronto Raptors ball.
You might say to yourself, Al, why'd you get so excited right here to say, ooh, but I just like something you're looking for and you've really been asking for and you finally get it. I love Ochai when he's aggressive, using his athleticism, going to the butters.
4:39 left here in the first half.
Agave, 1800 tequila, unparalleled taste, nothing more.
Raptors lead by 8 here on this Sunday night. Take a look at the Raptors schedule. A lot of home dates. Raptors 10 of their first 15 on the road, and now it's coming back to them. Tomorrow Cleveland, then Indiana, and then back-to-back at Charlotte, at MSG, against New York on Sunday, and then back home for that first week of December. And then Raptors are headed to the quarterfinals, the knockout round of the Emirates NBA Cup, which will start that following week. Here's quickly. Doesn't go. Claxton able to secure the rebound. Nabaji, Murray, Boyles, Walter, and Ingram. Claxton with a left. And Claxton, that's his first bucket. Here's Ingram now, going right at Dioman, but Williams comes from the other side to block it.
And just like the activity right now by Brooklyn Nets, coming in the game, coming out of that timeout, being active defensively.
A great job by Murray, Boyles, Walter, lead pass, Ingram. And Ingram goes in strong, no whistle. Darko's already picked up one tee, that pass stolen away. And the Raptors are going to get it back. Darko now having a word with David Guthrie.
And you got to give credit to this Brooklyn Nets team. They're showing Ingram bodies. They understand how important of an offensive player he is, and they're showing him bodies, being physical with him. So the Brooklyn Nets, again, out of that timeout, Jordi Fernandez really must have got into them because they're coming out with a different type of energy.
Got off to a surprising start last year through the first 11 games. Here's Abaji once again with a burst and the two-handed slam.
And you see what I mean? He's not hesitating, Matt. He's catching the ball. He's beating the rotation. That time going for a two-hand finish. Now it's going to soften the defense up. Now the three-point shot is going to be much easier.
On the glass, Murray, Boyles. Ochai sends it over to Walter. Abaji to Ingram, the three ball. B-I-3. Notorious. Raptors lead by 11.
Matt, give credit to Ochai, breaking down the defense.
How about Brandon Ingram? 10,001 points now in his career. 10 plus. NBA draft, and you see his numbers based on 512 games. You know, for Brandon Ingram last year, just 18 games. And he is healthy. And he's just got a spark, doesn't he, this year? And 28 years of age. In his 10th season in the league, second overall pick in 2016. Started with the Lakers and then moved in the Anthony Davis deal. And now here in Toronto.
And it's welcome to Toronto. You talk about the spark. That's what this fan base will do for you. That's what this organization will do for you. We've seen multiple players come here, and they got that spark. They got that life of energy in that basketball. It looks like he's enjoying basketball, and he feels appreciated.
Claxton up at the rim.
Claxton has really worked on his ball handling ability, assist numbers up. You mentioned he had, was it 12 assists against the Boston Celtics, leading to a triple-double, but he's handling the ball more like a guard these days, not just that shot blocker and rim runner.
Ingram and a turnover. Claxton in his 7th year, longest tenured Brooklyn net, was selected in the 2nd round, first player chosen in the 2nd round back in 2019. He's 26 years of age. Claxton. Porter rising up, and the 3 is good. And it's now a 6-point game.
It's not a prettier stroke in the NBA once Michael Porter Jr. gets rolling. 6'10", he elevates, jumps high on his jump shot, and has a great stroke and follow through.
Scotty gets fouled by Claxton. Scotty's ability to go up and in midair changing directions, because there's a little bit of a hesitation up top because he wanted to see where Claxton was coming in to try to deny him, and then he just moved a little bit to the left to try to get on the other side of the rim.
He's a highly intelligent player. He reads it, he has the creativity, but he also knew that Claxton was there and he was going to have to manipulate a little bit.
Looking for the right defense? Get a game plan for your life with Sun Life, the proud life insurance partner of the Toronto Raptors.
Mamu back in with Barrett quickly. Ingram and Scotty 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Raptors 12 of 12 from the free throw line in the 2nd quarter. Brooklyn 0 of 2. Dioman cut off. Here's Williams. Raises the rim. Ingram to RJ. RJ now. Shovel pass back to Ingram. 3, and there's a whistle and a foul, and it's going to go against RJ Barrett.
And we talked about RJ, his off-season strength training. RJ bullies out there a little bit, the Bloor Street bully.
Yeah. He's not going to be denied.
Not at all. Not at all. I like the physicality. Sign me up.
Oh, what a throwdown by Noah Clowney.
We talked about him being super aggressive this season.
He's got 11. 6-point game. Scotty attacking, comes down with it. In traffic is fouled. He'll go to the line. Brooklyn 12 for 21 in the quarter.
And this is one of the reasons Clowney just taking it to the rack over Mamu. That time Mamu in the receiving end, but Brooklyn Nets, they've come out. We've talked about them, Matt. They've come out with this energy, especially in the 2nd quarter, making a 6-point game. You see the past few possessions, Scotty really being aggressive, posting up a bit, still reading the game as he makes 1 of 2 from the free throw line.
Claxton. Here's Williams. Dioman. 3 doesn't go. Quickly now. And got a little bit too fast there. Spun around and slipped.
So Clowney there. Clowney been shot. Ooh, nice block.
Scotty the denial. Quickly with it. That's his 2nd block. Scotty stepped through, tried the left, and Claxton knocks it out of bounds.
Just Scotty being alert. I'm saying I'm going for it. Defensive Player of the Year. He got to be a candidate. He can guard every position, Matt. He's out there in the passing lanes. He's getting deflections. He's getting block shots. He's a guy that can guard your best offensive player on the opposite team. So, hey,
One of two
I'm
players.
president of the fan club.
You know, one or two players in the NBA with 20 or more steals and 20 or more blocks. The other, Miles Turner. Oh, how about that? Quickly, look here, look off there, and then we'll duck in, slam dunk CMB.
Going through his progressions.
And you got to do it in 5 seconds or less.
Yep.
Powell. Powell with a left and a whistle. And it's going to be on Quick. That's his second.
We talk about you have 5 seconds. If you're an inbounder, Matt, you got that internal clock in your head. You know exactly. And the Raptors was finding great spacing, confused the Brooklyn Nets defense a bit with that baseline out of bounds. And you had a great passer and the poised passer just delivering it. You mentioned there's a lot of players sometimes, they get a little nervous knowing that you have 5 seconds. So when that thing starts ticking down a bit, now it forces a lot of turnovers and some ill-advised passes, but quickly kept his poise and delivered the rock just in the nick of time.
Powell able to get both. 7-point game. Here's Ingram. Puts up the shot and doesn't go. Stay tuned for the Raptors Subway halftime show with Brad Sherm and Matt Bonner as the Toronto Raptors lead it 65-58. And R.J. Barrett leading the way with 12 points. Every player for the Raptors that has played has scored. Top scorer for Brooklyn, Michael Porter Jr. with 14 as we send it over to Danielle and Jacoby Walter.
Jacoby, third straight game, you're the first sub off the bench, really owning those minutes. How much has your comfortability grown with that consistency?
Huge, you know. My coaches, my teammates, they're all believing in me, giving me confidence. I've been watching a lot of film, so now I'm coming into the games very confident.
You ripped off that 12-0 run to start the game, but Brooklyn really bringing some physicality in that second quarter. How do you match that and bully them back in the second half?
Really just staying down on what we did at the beginning. Like you said, we went off on a 12-0. Just focusing on defense first, and then the offense comes when we move the ball, knock down shots.
Thank you, Jacoby.
Thank you.
Matt?
Jacoby Walter in that first half with 8 points in 8 minutes of action. And the Toronto Raptors with the lead 65-58 on this Sunday night. Santa Claus Parade Day turning tonight. To begin this game, the Brooklyn Nets battled back. Alvin, you really liked what you saw in that first half from the Raptors bench.
Because you said it, they started out with a 12-0 run and it decreased a bit, and then the bench came in and they provided that spark. And how did they do it? Just Raptor-style basketball. You see Jacoby Walter being a big part of that on the weak side in the corner. Now you got your shooter on the weak side. He's going to put pressure on the defense. You see Jamal Shed. R.J. Barrett cuts to the basket, frees up Walter. Knock down the 3 ball. He's 3 for 3 in the field. Now you have the same type of action. Walter's on the opposite side, but this is Obaji on the strong side. He attacks the closeout. And this is just not a huge play or a big play. It's something where you can tell they're making the reads, they're right in the right position, they're trusting each other. Again, Walter's on the weak side as the shooter. Strong side, you got your attacker. And I just love right now, coming into this situation, you got to be excited for what the Raptors have been doing as of late in these third quarters against the Philadelphia 76ers, against the Washington Wizards, really putting up big numbers. So the Nets have to be ready to match that intensity.
Averaging 46 in their last 2 third quarters. They have been elite in the third quarters, the Toronto Raptors. Toronto's averaging 33 as R.J. Barrett is fouled. Raptors averaging 33 points in the third quarters. And that is second best in the NBA as we check in with Danielle.
Well, Matt, you guys were talking about that 12-0 start to open the game by Toronto, and I asked assistant coach Eric Corey what he wants to see to get back to that, and he said they kind of lost Michael Porter Jr. a couple times. He's such an electric shooter that if you lose focus even for a bit, that's all the airspace he needs to knock one down. So in the second half, get back to how they started the game, guys.
Let's see if they can continue that here, refine that here in the third.
What you see, I expect the Raptors to really be connected to Michael Porter Jr., be a little physical with him. As you see, RJ already grabbing and holding and trying to get connected to him. Good job by Sandro by switching out.
RJ Barrett tonight 6 of 6 from the line. Clowney swatted away, and then he holds Brandon Ingram and David Guthrie. I waited a moment there because with the whistle, you know,
How about the activity by Ingram, right? Using his length, sliding his feet, having his hands active, not just sliding your feet, but having your hands active and being engaged, attacking the basketball.
Foul on Noah Clowney. That's his second. Raptors up by 9. Here's Mamu backing in, spinning, cutting is RJ. And swatted out of bounds. It's going to be Toronto basketball. 6 seconds, and David Guthrie's pointing to the ball saying he got all ball. Up top, it's Mamu. 4 on the clock. They give it to Ingram. Ingram launches. Oh! Rattle it in. Ingram fading, letting it fly. Claxton's fouled.
And Matt, that was a heck of a call right there, but you're talking about Brandon Ingram. Sometimes talent supersedes any type of good defense. Going against the shot clock, less than 5 seconds on the clock when he gets the rock, and he just lets it go from about 26, 27 feet. Look at his teammates. They're looking at it, imitating it.
And Clowney on that switch was right there, but at the last moment he kind of was like, okay, if I get any closer to him, I don't want to foul him. And Ingram with that length, fading, drifting away, able to knock it down. He's got 10 points, second Raptor in double digits. Brooklyn has 3 in double figures. It's a 10-point game. Quick picks up his third. Here's Ingram, doesn't go, weak side. Porter able to handle the rebound. Met by Ingram is Yeoman, gives it back now to Porter. Cut off by Mamu. Good job of Mamu sticking with Porter there.
That was a very good job. A defender on a tough offensive player who has the green light.
Yeoman, 3 doesn't go. Rookie 38% from 3. So with 2 here tonight. Quick, the 3. Unable to make him pay as he was open. Porter flying by.
And the one thing also in that first half, the Raptors did a really good job of protecting the basketball, only having 5 turnovers in the first half.
Yeoman hits his first 3 of the game.
I'm sure Darko doesn't like that. Raptors just being caught behind the defense a little bit. Got to stay connected. Do your work early.
Raptors have won 6 in a row. 10 of the last 11. Brooklyn's won 2 of their last 3, coming off of a victory in Boston. And it's going to be a turnover by the Raptors. That's their 6th.
So that possession right there, Matt, just a little too much standing around. Mamu wanted Scotty to come off for a dribble handoff. Scotty wanted the ball more for like an isolation to catch it flat-footed, but got to have your Raptor style. Keep moving, come off that dribble handoff, attack the defense, provide outlets.
Popcorn came out of the bag.
And man went over there and took the liberties to get himself some popcorn.
We got popcorn on the floor.
I'm going to tell you this, man. If I paid front row seats money for front row seats. Don't come in here and put your sweaty hands in my popcorn.
Well, no.
Don't take my popcorn, dog.
No, the popcorn, this is popping.
Yeah, but you don't come in here and take my pop. I done paid for the popcorn and the front row seats, and you're gonna come over here and take my popcorn?
Well,
you done caught the basketball. You done got sweating it. Now you're not backing me up. You're not rolling with me. Now if somebody come over here and take your popcorn, it's on and popping. I'm not gonna allow that.
No, I'm gonna just say, hey, here's the bag. You can have it if you want it.
You gonna do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
When somebody comes and snatch my popcorn, I need you to have my back.
No, it's popcorn, man.
But it's my popcorn. It's not yours.
Okay, do not. Here's the thing.
Look at that. I'm saying. Look at Terrence Mann. He looked it off a little bit.
Yeah, well, there was spillage. There was spillage over there.
Well, get the popcorn off the floor. Don't go in my bag and take. You know what? I'm gonna be quiet because Terrence Mann might hear me, and I don't want. I don't want no problems. He can have the popcorn.
They're just making sure everything's cleaned up. Popcorn came out of the bag, and Terrence Mann saw an opening.
He definitely did. He looked it off.
He looked. Everybody was focused on the spillage, and he's like, "I'm going right into the bag. Nobody's going to see it." Alvin saw it. Alvin saw it right after the spillage. So you're not a share guy at the table, huh? If it's on your plate, don't touch it.
Don't touch.
These are good things to learn.
I learned that from my older sister Alvina. All the sharing.
Yes.
Tight-knit family. We shared everything.
Not
Lavini,
food.
You take her food? Oh, my goodness. Never again. Never
so
again.
there was no reaching over the table and let me try
it.
it?
The nub. I got the nub. She did it.
All right, so we're still being held up by the popcorn popping all over the floor. Alvin's got a little bit of an issue with Terrence Mann. Let's see if Terrence Mann still has those popcorn fingers. You know how they kind of get a little bit,
Watch the ball slip out of his hand one time.
Well, let's see. Let's see. Butterfingers. There you go. Here's Porter. Porter swatted away by RJ. Porter fading. Shot doesn't go. And it's Mann. He's got sticky fingers now. Dioman. Back over to Clowney. Shot doesn't go. Claxton on the glass. Dioman up fake now. Attacking. Nice move by the rookie. 5-point game.
And it's crucial for the Raptors to gain rebound. We mentioned it early in the show, in the game. This Brooklyn Nets team, they will attack the offensive glass. The undersized Raptors, they have to do it as a team.
Ingram has it swatted away. Shot clock is down to 5. Here's Quick. Off the bounce, doesn't go. Batted out, Porter with it. First night of a back-to-back for Toronto. They'll take on the Cavs tomorrow. Clowney driving in, swatted by Barnes. Another block. Quickly now, transition. Brooklyn gets back. Good job by the Nets getting back in transition. Ingram finds Scotty B.
This Nets defense is swarming. They're all over. They're helping the helper. But you see right here, this is Scotty doing Scotty Barnes-like things. Coming from behind, blocking the shot. Third block of the night.
Talking a lot about food, popcorn, and hamburger helper. Oh, that was help the helper. Okay.
I didn't say a hamburger. But speaking of a hamburger, I might go get one after this game.
70-65, Raptors by 5 with 8:04 left here in the third. Must be a little bit hungry. Raptors shooting 44%. They're 1 of 5 in the quarter. Here's Mamu. And too strong, 1 of 6 now. Claxton. Mann. This is not going to be a third quarter like the last two. This is grinded into some half-court action. There's an air ball. Claxton looks to throw it off quickly.
And you got to give credit to this Nets team. And I'm sure Jordy and the rest of the coaching staff, they warned this Brooklyn Nets team of how the Raptors have been coming out in the second half in these third quarters, ultimately hot with the energy. And the Brooklyn Nets have come out in this second half playing with high intensity.
Porter, a 3 fading, no. And there's a foul, and it's going to go against Toronto. If it's on quickly, which it is, that's his fourth. And Shed, he'll check in. He's playing with 2.
Getting into foul trouble, but we talked about no Pirtle, so you have a smaller team, and you see quickly down there under the basket, Terrence Mann had him in a compromising position to get that offensive rebound. Quickly had to pick up a foul.
RJ with the steal. RJ to the rack. Now he's limping away. Another steal. Here's Mamu. The bucket doesn't go. Darko thought there was contact underneath. Clowney lays it up and in. RJ is limping toward the bench. And now he's headed back toward the locker room. And you just hope for what has been a healthy start to the season collectively for this team, and that everything's going to be okay for RJ. There's a steal. Let's see how he comes down. Just see him.
Want the best seats, you get courtside. When you want the simplest insurance, you get Bel Air Direct. Bel Air Direct. Insurance. Simplified.
See RJ coming down right there. Hopefully he's going to be okay.
Yeah, hopefully, that's huge. You hate to see it. Hopefully he can bounce back from that. Man, we see again, last game against the Wizards, Scotty Barnes came out in that third quarter and was absolutely a beast. Really being purposeful and aggressive, scoring the rock, just being aggressive, being that big part and that leader that the Raptors needed coming out in that second half. And I'm looking for him to do the same. He did exactly that on that possession.
Scotty at the free throw line. And a successful trip.
Talk about that third quarter. He had 14 points in that third quarter, 6 for 7 from the field.
Walter on Porter. Raptors lead by 7. Raptors have won 4 straight against Brooklyn, all by 10 or more points, and a foul as Clowney gets bumped. And the foul's going to be on Scotty Barnes, his second, and the team's third. With 6:41 to go here in the third, and Clowney's going to head to the foul line. 1 of 1 from the line.
Clowney, we mentioned, he's coming out here aggressive. 13 points. Mark it down for his 14th point with his first made free throw. But again, this Brooklyn Nets team, if they've come out determined to match this Raptors energy in this third quarter.
His 10th start, 10th consecutive start in the season, and averaging better than 14 points.
And I like what he brings shot blocking ability, the energy, shot making ability. He's just going to continue to get better, getting opportunities to play.
Scotty. Here's Barnes just barreling his way in. And it's going to be Brooklyn basketball in this 5-point game. Certainly a different feel with this Brooklyn team than the one that we saw at their spot.
Yeah, in Brooklyn, that was Biggie night for them.
Biggie
they may
night,
have been caught up in the
Barclays.
But coming off of beating Boston Celtics again, it's not the same Celtics team, but getting a win in that building is huge.
Porter makes it a 2-point game.
Have to stay connected to Porter. Matches physicality, how he plays off the ball.
Scotty. Great work, but unable to finish at the iron.
It's all right. Just get back on defense and get a stop.
Chance here to tie or take the lead on a 3. Scotty digging in, creates a turnover. Jacoby out on the wing now. Attacking. Has it knocked away. Here comes Brooklyn.
that just one play, you were like the young fella, just read it. Scotty didn't get back on defense, so you were playing 5-on-4. So now the Brooklyn Nets, they can help a little bit more on the dribble penetration and cause that turnover.
Man trying to back in on Shed. Shed stays right there. Tough shot doesn't go. Ingram flies in, handles the rebound. Raptors have never trailed in this game. Ingram with a jumper. Raptors are just 2 for 11 here in this quarter.
Just can't get anything going, but this is when your defense is supposed to step up for you, send you to get stops, string stops together.
Porter with Scotty right there, and the reach in and a foul as Porter is able to turn the corner. That's the third on Scotty and the team's fourth.
When you look at Porter, Porter's almost averaging 25 points a game. His usage rate is up, his minutes are up. He's getting more and more opportunities, and he's taking full advantage with this Nets team.
So just hearing that reason for the change in the score, Porter originally was given a 3, and after review it is now a 2. That happened back in the 6-minute area of this third quarter. And now it's back to 2. 2-point game. And Porter gets both. To your point about Porter, he's had 7 games this season of 25+ points and shooting 50% or better from the field. He's got 7. As I mentioned, that's tied for 5th in the NBA. Oh, great work. Grady Dick finds the cutting Walter.
So Grady shared notes with Ochai Agbaji. We're not going to settle for the 3. We're going to penetrate. We saw Ochai attack the rim twice on the closeouts from the corner, but Grady doing a nice job, and he's been doing a beautiful job all night finding his teammates and getting people involved off of his action offensively.
And the patience. Claxton now goes down. He's back up. Shed driving, attacking, gets bumped, and the shot doesn't go. And the Raptors by 1.
And I really like, again, the closeout. Now you have to respect Grady's 3-point shooting ability, but Grady dropping off one of his 2 assists for the night. But I just love how he continues to grow throughout this season. He's doing a much better job. He's getting better and better, making his reads and finding where his opportunities are going to be, not just for himself and his own shot, but for his teammates.
Martin picks up his first as we send it over to Danielle with an update on R.J. Barrett.
Yeah, guys, you saw him come down off that breakaway dunk and immediately head towards the bench and off the court, visibly upset as he made his way past me down the tunnel to the locker room. He will not return to this game with what they're calling a right knee sprain.
Colin Murray-Boyles, his first game back after missing 2. Remember, Raptors have the Cavaliers tomorrow and Indiana on Wednesday.
You mentioned it, partner, early on. The consistent roster, the consistent lineups, and injuries is going to be a big part, and your health is going to be a big part to your team's success. So hopefully RJ can get back.
He's been so good for Toronto. A turnover there. R.J. Barrett averaging just under 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting 51% from the field, better than 70% from the foul line. And R.J. tonight with 16 points. 2-point game. Here's Shed. Grady finds Jacoby. Walter. 3.
2 guys working together, and again, Grady Dick with just a touch pass, knew where Jacoby was. Love what they're doing. That's 31 bench press points from Toronto Raptors tonight. Both guys are really stepping up to the plate.
Martin got it. 2-point game. Jacoby is 3 of 3 from 3. Coming off of a season high 22 minutes on Friday. Ingram up top, Powell there. And Shed. That one rattles around, pops out. Last touch by Sharp. Jacoby with a season-high 13 points.
And you mentioned he's really finding his groove, but he was doing the other things until this shot started going. You see Shed, and I love the pass by Grady Dick finding Jacoby Walter. He has his rhythm. He has his confidence. That's never going anywhere. He said, you heard him say, the coaches are working with me. The coaches are encouraging, knowing that he can shoot, and he has that ability.
Brandon Ingram. Raptors, those shots they typically have been making. He's falling off of the rim. Williams scoops it up, momentarily lost it. Martin trying to work on CMB. No place to go.
No hats there.
Yeah.
CMB got great footwork.
Brady, the pass to Shed. Here's Jacoby. 4 for 4 from downtown. Walters 8 for his last 9 from three-point range over the last 3 games.
Oh, what a feeling. I wish I could have that feeling one time in my life. And it looks so good. You see the arc on his shot, his rhythm. Foul. You already know he's going to draw that foul. Fighting over the screen. That's what Jamal Shed does.
Jacoby Walter got off to a slow start, but he has battled through that. And over the last week, delivering from downtown. Walter.
And to learn more, and any fan would know our radio voice of the Raps, Eric Smith always manages to weave in stories as he describes the action, but now he's put some to page alongside Andrew Bricker with We the Raptors, a book that set out to highlight 30 players, their 30 stories over 30 years. Dubbed an instant national bestseller, it shares the history of the team by focusing on the players' perspectives. Our Matt Bonner was one of them, and so was Alvin. Al, I'm still on Doug Christie's chapter, though, so could you maybe sell us a little bit on what you shared with Eric?
Me, I'll tell you this. I can't remember, but honestly, but no, I appreciated Eric and the whole approach because he highlighted the unsung guys, the guys that really don't get a lot of credit. So I know just talking to him a little bit, my first time coming here to Toronto and my experience and the expectations, and I really didn't have any expectations. I was so young, but Eric, again, just shout out and salute to you and all the guys that you're giving credit to and some notoriety to that was part of this organization that may not get the shine that the others did.
Walter with the steal. Walter doesn't go, and Brooklyn comes away with it, so you do remember. Shout out to Eric
Shout out
Smith.
to Eric. I think I made that.
It was, look, I got an early copy of it. Was able to dive into it, and what is so unique about the book, the stories, the 30 stories do come from the player's perspective. And that just makes it so unique. And congratulations to him, as was mentioned by Danielle, Matt Bonner, as well as yourself. Featured in that book, and a technical foul now called on Jordi Fernandez. Grady Dick will head to the free throw line, 83%.
Not much there, but
yeah, there's not much there. I don't now. Now Jordi Fernandez comes over to have a word with the crew chief, David Guthrie. And now some conversation between Martin and Jacoby Walter. And it's more Martin and Jacoby just standing his ground. And you see by his action at Jamal Shed saying, hey, he's grabbing me here. It is getting hot and testy.
I'm for it. I'm all
Santa
for it.
Claus Parade Day.
Well, I mean, we're lucky to have you here. I think you were caught in the mix of it.
I was in the middle of the mix.
You had me sweating. I was thinking, oh, hold on now. Where's my partner?
There's a foul there. Ochai Agbaji. It's going to be side out of bounds. It's a second, but I think that's going to be the fifth. David Guthrie says side out, but it's the fifth, and that's going to lead to foul shots. 35.5 seconds left here in the third.
And that was good awareness by Williams. Felt a little contact by Ochai and raised up. Tried to get the old school Kevin Durant, but the NBA took that out. You know, got to be in natural shooting motion now.
Yeah, I'm typically an early arriving. Same thing with the airport. You know, I don't like to cut anything
early.
Close. I like to get here early, and so
I was worried.
Today I was early but late.
Well, luckily you left early, because if you left late.
Yeah, well, if I left late, forget it. You'd be solo today.
Danielle will be right here next to me, Danielle. she got your back.
Shed is fouled by Powell. So the whistle tightening here. And that's going to lead to free throws for Jamal Shed. Shed.
And that comes with, you know, the whistle is tightened. The ref trying to get grasp and some control of this game. It's been a physical game, and some of the calls haven't been made. So the referees are trying to put their thumbprint on the game going into this fourth quarter.
18 for 23 from the line on the season, now 19 for 24. Here comes Murray Boyles. He's going to check in for Grady here. 5.3 second difference between game clock, shot clock.
It's just a defensive sub. Got a good defensive player in CMB. Although Grady Dick has been doing a really good job defensively, being active, getting passing lanes, getting out in transition, igniting transitions from his defensive presence. And you see CMB guarding Michael Porter Jr., the best offensive player. So that, again, that was a defensive sub.
5-point lead, Sharp up top. The time now for the Raptors.
Great read by Porter. He got double teamed. Scotty had to help out a bit on that play. Found Sharp for the layup.
Raptors by 3. Shed finds Scotty. Scotty turns, faces, knocks it down. Count the bucket. Raptors by 5. 87-82.
And Matt, you just see Scotty recognizing the clock was going down. Normally Scotty would like to swing it, but he turned around right over that left shoulder. Knocking.
As Matt Bonner said, this is a grind, and Brooklyn won that third 24-22. Brooklyn's defense has turned over the last few games. Raptors held to 30% in that third quarter. And that's all right. Having these games is, you know, beneficial at this stage of the season, Alvin.
This is the NBA. You can't take any games for granted. You can't take any team for granted. You can't underestimate any situation. So the Raptors continue to build.
And Porter with the 3, and Scotty just put his hands up like, okay, I was right there. But Porter, when healthy, is that smooth. 21 points, 7 of 15 from the field. Here's quickly, kick out, swing, Grady corner 3, short. But there's Ochai. Great job. Agbaji kicked it in the corner and then went in for the rebound.
Not giving up on a play. We talk about multiple efforts on the defensive end. That's a multiple efforts offensively. Good swing and going for the offensive glass.
Martin over Scotty Barnes. He has had quite the game off of the bench. 18 points.
And he has. And you know, prior to the first game against the Raptors, after that, he's been averaging 10 points a game.
Scotty on the offensive glass with a putback. 15 and 7.
But this is the side, Matt. Defensively, the Raptors have to lock in and prevent this Nets team being comfortable.
And right now, Martin is comfortable with 21. 1-point game. Renewed confidence in the Brooklyn Nets. Quickly, Abaji. Here's Grady. Gonna put it on the deck, getting a little bit of room. The third time is a charm here in the fourth.
And just absorbing the contact, getting back on balance, finding his legs, and then finding his stroke.
2 minutes into the fourth. Porter cut off. Here's Sharp. And good job by Grady Dick. He committed the foul, and where and how he fouled him, knew that Sharp wouldn't be able to get up for the bucket.
No, he had to, but I really like this. Got his balance back. Great defense by Clowney, but better offense by Grady Dick. And you're right, Matt. His rotation was on time, had a bigger Sharp on him, and just took the foul, so he couldn't go up there and finish with the and one.
And that wasn't a three. That was a 2 for Grady. 4-point game. Martin up top. Here's Sharp. Porter with it. 5 seconds on the clock. Right at the iron, and a foul against Toronto. It's on Ochai Agbaji. Raptors have yet to use their challenge. And now they're saying that they have reversed the reverse. So it's gone all 360 with a 180 in it. It's now a 3. So it was a 3, then a 2, but now back to a 3.
It's a reverse the reverse. Felt like I'm playing Uno.
9:47 in a 3-point game.
Very small Toronto Raptors team lineup in the game right now, so they're going to have to push the tempo and put this Nets team on their heels.
Quick. Agbaji, Barnes, Walter, and Grady Dick. Bench with 41 points, but the bench of Brooklyn with 39. That shot doesn't go, led by the 21 of Martin.
See quickly then they're fighting with Sharp, and it's just a tough matchup.
Remember, no Jakob Poeltl. That 3 is good, and we're tied 94-94.
Got to get a bigger lineup in, Matt. Sharp is not scoring, but he's collapsing the defense, kicking out. You got to find guys like Martin, so Raptors have to make some adjustments coming from this timeout they just called.
Martin with a season best 24. Players of the game brought to you by Gillette, the best your game can get.
And you see Jacoby Walter, 16 points, 6 of 7, so efficient, really feeling it. But how about Tyrese Martin, 24 points, 7 from 13 from the field, and just opening up, feeling real good. You said before, Matt, he's comfortable. He's going to the basket with his left hand, spacing the floor out with the step back. This was a two-way player last year, Matt. And now he's on this Nets roster, really going to work. And again, when he played against the last time the Raptors saw the Nets, Martin was scoreless. And then after that, for 4 games, he's been averaging 10 points. So he's really finding his rhythm with this Brooklyn Nets team.
8 here in the fourth, 3 of 3 from the field. Ingram checking in. Ingram getting right into the restricted area, gets the bucket. Raptors lead 96-94. Mamu on the court with Ingram joining quickly Agbaji and Grady Dick.
Mamu's going to have to bring that physicality and his energy against a Sharp, because that's what's been really hurting the Raptors with his size and controlling the paint a bit.
Clowney. And a foul on Mamu. Remember, for the Raptors, I mentioned earlier, no Jakob Poeltl. Lower back. Played 19 minutes on Friday. Back-to-back situation. So he is out tonight. Back-to-back tomorrow, Cleveland. R.J. Barrett leaving. And so now all of a sudden for the Raptors, you know, this is, you mentioned earlier, with respect to the injuries, Raptors have really been injury-free for the most part early on. I mean, there's CMB and Jacoby, but when you look at the Detroit Pistons, what is happening, obviously, with Jakob Poeltl. But now you just manage that and opportunity for others to step up.
And this is when it really shows. when your team is versatile and your team is deep and you have guys playing together for one another. When they're facing hard times, can the others really step up and you can show the true value of your roster when the big guys are out or different people are out.
Here's Ingram looking for the cutting Ochai and batted out of bounds in this tied game. 96-96.
You know, the absence of Pirtle, it shows in games like this, his absence and his value, and he's not in the lineup. Good steal, good read by Quickly.
Here's IQ on the scene.
And it's just one of those plays we see Michael Jordan, we see the great defenders, Gary Payton back in the day. Turn your back. He's going to shoot the gap. You think he's gone, but he's still there.
Martin. And he's going to find his way to the bucket. And here it is, that read that you just mentioned with Quickly able
and yes,
to get the steal.
Yes, I did put Quickly defensively there with Michael Jordan and Gary Payton with those type of reads. I didn't say day to day and throughout his career, but that was a Michael Jordan liking Gary Payton read.
Quickly just picked up his 5th. So another storyline developing here in this game. Shedd's going to check in. Claxton in, Dioman in, Porter's going to check out.
And this is when Shedd's value is going to show as well. Coming off the bench, going to have to lead this team with Quickly in foul trouble.
And what a game for Martin off of the bench. 26 points. His career high is 30. He's approaching. 7:30 to go here in the 4th. BI kicks it to Shed. Shot clocked at 7. The cut by Abaji. Shot doesn't go. Brooklyn has never led. Clowney kicks it to Dioman. Back over to Clowney. That is, air ball. Mamu with it. Back to Shed into the front court. Into the hands of Ingram. Up fake by Jamal Shed. Driving over top. Dioman with the left.
Great pump fake drive to the basket, but I like the ball reversal by Brandon Ingram. Made the defense shift a bit. Jamal Shed, great steal again by Grady Dick. Grady Dick has been very active in this game tonight.
Abaji and a foul.
But you're going to notice Jamal Shed's drive, but it started with BI, just the ball reversal. You see the defense shift. As soon as the defense shift, now Jamal Shed shows the pump fake. Now the whole entire defense is one angle, and you see Grady again. Just having those active hands, getting deflections and steals, igniting the Raptors to get out on the break. So hats off to Grady and his defensive approach these past few games.
Shed backing in. Ochai now puts it on the deck. Ochai gets to the iron. Shot doesn't go. Raptors by 2. Dioman up top. Looking for Clowney. Contested by Mamu. Let's see what the Raptors decide to do. Darko is not looking back at the bench. Mamu's looking back over at the bench, and they're saying no.
It's just tough because you get this whistle, but to me, from this angle, the last play, Abaji got fouled on his layup.
Yeah.
So the whistle is not really being consistent, and I'd stay off of the referees because it's part of the game. But when this game gets close, we talked about at the end of the 3rd quarter, you start seeing the whistle become a little more tighter in this game. So the 4th quarter, Raptors have to make those adjustments and recognizing how the referees are calling the game now.
Solid minutes by Ochai Abaji in his 14 minutes of action. 6 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Scotty Barnes checks back in. Clowney to tie it. He has 19. Brooklyn 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Here in the fourth, the Raptors have yet to visit. And a foul there.
If I'm the Raptors and I'm Jamal Shead, I'm going to that action every time. You saw Grady Dick trying to set the cross screen, providing that switch to give B.I. a good matchup on a young rook from the Nets. So I'm looking for these matchup opportunities where I can take advantage of the mismatches and create these opportunities for everyone, not just B.I., because he will make the right read and right pass.
Yeoman picks up the foul. And the jumper, short corner, baseline.
You know who to go to, Matt. You know it's this time of the game. And again, that's the luxury of having a Brandon Ingram and the personnel that's around him. He's going to make the right read, but he will fill up the buckets when you need it in game time.
Raptors have won 6 in a row, their longest streak since winning 8 straight back in January, February 2022. Trying to keep that streak alive, and it's 102-102 as Claxton got behind the defense. He's got 10 points, 9 rebounds. Shed to Grady, back up top to Shed.
Over top, there you go.
Over top to Scotty, great read. And the patience to allow it to develop.
100% right. Your point guard having patience, making the read and react offense.
7 assists for Shed, missed shot. Raptors control. Powell and Porter at the table for the Nets to check in.
There's one of your favorite structures of an offense, the horn set.
Yeah.
And you see the movement, and Jamal Shed's just observing the floor.
Drive, kick, corner 3. Doesn't go. Up on the glass, batted around. And last touch by Scotty. And Darko's talking to David Guthrie, and he said he didn't see it. Now they're looking back at the bench.
And you just see that action. The help defense had to stay with Brandon Ingram on those side, and that freed up Scotty Barnes, and goes out of bounds. And, you know, everybody's lobbying for it to be their ball, but good subtle execution by the Toronto Raptors. Brandon Ingram raising up a little bit on the strong side, passing the ball over top by Jamal Shed, freeing up Scotty.
Porter cleans up. Tied 104-104, second game of a 4-game homestand. Opened up with a victory in the Emirates NBA Cup on Friday night to go 3-0 and earn a spot in the knockout round. Raptors trying to earn their 7th straight. Nets coming off of a victory in Boston. And growing confidence, and there's going to be a foul, and that was on the Shed shot. And it's on Powell.
And it's just unique action. That time Jamal Shed started as the screener for Scotty Barnes. Scotty found Jamal Shed, but Jamal is just too small down there with Clowney and the big bodies down there with the shot blocker, so really couldn't get anything. Backed it back out. Used his patience again, as you mentioned before in the previous possession. Put himself at the free throw line, getting fouled from dribble penetration. So again, you just like the different formations that the Raptors can play in, but it's more so the mindset and the IQ of all the players that's out there. They really have an understanding of how to execute, especially at this game. This is some valuable minutes for all these players on the floor.
First 2 free throws by the Raptors here in the fourth. Porter turns the corner, attacking, cut off. Yeoman with the 3. It's going to be short, air ball, but scooped up by Claxton, trying to back in on Mamu. Contested. Mamu bats it over to Walter. Huge defensive sequence there, and a timeout by Darko. 3:31 left, and the Toronto Raptors clutching on to a 2-point lead on a Sunday night in TO.
Jackpot City Casino. This is what excitement is made of.
And Matt, you just gotta appreciate Jamal Shed coming in, some tough minutes, foul trouble, but still finding his teammates penetrating, collapsing the defense. His teammates are ready to go. Quickly being in foul trouble, so he had to come in and play some extended minutes later in the game, but making all the right reads. That's 23 assists, 1 turnover in the last 3 games. And what I really like about tonight, he has the 7 assists, no turnovers. So right now, between the past 2 games, it's 17 assists and no turnovers. But he's been to the free throw line 9 times. He's 7 from 9 from the three-point line, from the free throw line rather. And he just continues to put pressure. Now you see he and Quickly in the game together. So he's earning these minutes. Continue going.
Quick, the 3. Shooting 50% from 3 alongside Jamal Shed. The duo is at +7 in 41 minutes on the court together. They're +16 in their last 28 minutes together. And it pays immediate dividends.
I still remember.
Terrific player. He can shoot, defend. He makes my job a lot easier on both ends of the floor. I hugged him after the game. I said, "It's so easy to play with you, bro," and he said the same thing. So it's great to play with another great point guard. That makes the game a lot easier.
We mentioned the numbers together, and that ability to have Shed and what he provides on the court does free up Quickly.
No doubt about it, and give credit to not just the players being able to play together at the same position, but the coaching staff to recognize that they can play together. Because a lot of times coaching staff, they got to try to decide who, when, like they try to make that decision, but they play them both together, which is another option. And I think back when I was a point guard, I was relieved a lot when Mark Jackson was here, and then when Chris Childs came, we would play together.
Martin, a rare miss. Quickly comes away with it. Under 3 minutes to go, Raptors lead by 5 after the call, 5-3.
This is when you ride your big dog. Ingram, this is when he makes the read. You see the defense loading up on him, give him some space and let him operate.
They clear out for him. And he's fouled. Mike Clowney.
At that moment, Matt, right there, you saw, you see Clowney with his 5th foul of the game. But I would like to see Brandon Ingram just have the isolation and not to have Scotty come set the screen. Get Scotty over the opposite side in the dunker position. Sandro can space out the 3 ball and give Brandon a lot of space to work. He's going to make the right read.
That's Brooklyn's 4th team foul. Looking for Ingram. Finds Quickly the 3. Call 5. 8-0 run. Big time bucket.
And again, Matt, look at the formation. It wasn't no screens. Guys were spread out. You saw Scotty in the short corner, and he made the right read, found the shooter, IQ delivering, but came from the read of Brandon Ingram and the spacing of the Toronto Raptors.
13 points now for Quick. Raptors lead by 8. Porter.
Oh, great defense by Scotty.
Draped all over him. And then the steal. Alvin's hyped. Scotty Barnes, no. Mamu, yes. Barnes, 2 steals, 4 blocks here tonight. Raptors by 10. Dioman a 3. Ingram on the scene. Under 2 minutes to go.
In that last possession, Matty, when we said he played great defense, talking about Scotty from beginning to end, getting that steal.
It was tied 104-104. Raptors on a 10-0 run. Ingram backing in on Clowney. He's got 5 fouls. Fading. No. Barnes boxed out. Brooklyn has been held scoreless since the 4:19 mark. Swarming defense. Clowney. Oh, tough three.
Definitely a tough three.
Clock is your friend.
And this is when your point guard play is critical, and you have 2 point guards in there, so you have a luxury. And you just see Scotty fighting over the screen and then helping a bit and then recovering back, getting that steal. So on the ball defense, in your gaps, going through your progressions, going through your system, and then coming up with the steal.
Mamu. Got it! Mamu says knock you out. 10-point lead. Porter rising up. Air ball scooped up by Quickly. Raptors 12 for 20 here in the fourth. 4 for 7 from three-point range. The reach of Ingram doubled. Shed is fouled. That's a 15 foul.
And 2 point guards again, spacing out the floor, negating all the double teams. But how about this? Quickly driving, Jamal Shed. That's your 2 point guards making the right reads. Quickly to Shed, Shed to Mamu. Excellent job by the guys in red.
Mamu getting his first start for the Raptors in the absence of Jakob Poeltl. He's got a dozen. Shed at the line once again. He's 8 for 10.
Raptors basketball on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Tangerine Bank. You can never be too invested in your team. Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors and their fans.
Raptors on the verge of their 7th consecutive victory, their longest since January into February of 2022. As Brooklyn's able to get across the timeline. Here's Clowney. That was an 8-game win streak. Porter steps through. 18.8 to go. And that's going to do it. Quick's going to dribble it out, and the Toronto Raptors are victorious tonight. They have won 7 consecutive in a hard-fought game. Brooklyn coming in with an immense amount of confidence after their win in Boston. And the Toronto Raptors improved to 12-5. They've won 11 of their last 12, 5-2 at home. They'll see Cleveland tomorrow. And Quick with a couple of huge threes here in the fourth quarter. The game was tied 104-104 at the 4:19 mark of the fourth. Raptors finish it on a 15-5 run.
And you have to appreciate the effort that the Raptors finished this game with. Give credit to the the Brooklyn Nets. They came out the second half really on fire, playing hard with that intensity. But the others, talk about Eric Smith in his book, tonight was about the others. Everybody stepped up and played their part to help the Raptors to victory.
Raptors led wire to wire. Bench with 47 points as we send it to Danielle.
Well, Quick, you were already down Jakob Poeltl going into this game. You lost RJ there in the third quarter. Down 2 starters, how were you able to grind out this 7th straight win?
Fans got us going, man. Yes, sir. Great teammates, great coaching. I was in foul trouble, so I was on the bench a lot, but teammates kept me going, coaches kept me going, total team effort.
You had a couple clutch threes there. Jamal with 9 assists tonight. He set you up on one of them. How have the two of you really found your flow and built that over this time?
It's easy to play with great players. Jamal's a great player, helps me out on both sides of the ball. He's a dog, so we're going to need everybody. We need everybody.
You play Cleveland tomorrow night on the second night of a back-to-back. You beat them the 2 first occasions. What have you learned to try and sweep this season series?
Every game's different. They're a tough team to beat. You got to move on to the next game. We beat them, but that doesn't mean anything. We just come in here, work hard. God gets all the glory, and we're just going to continue to keep working hard for the fans.
Going for 8 tomorrow. Thanks, Quick.
Yes, sir.
Max wanted music. Wanted music.